Good day everyone. Today I will be demonstration how to create an always on availability group on Windows clustering, especially on the Azure IaaS platform. During this demo, we will create how to create a domain, add nodes to the domain, troubleshooting any issues that may arise during the Windows clustering, and AZ group creation process. Also, we'll create AZ with minimal access. So I have already created 3 VMs with names as domain DC, node 1 and node 2. All this, each VM is having 2 IPs. One is with the public IP, another one is private IP. So we will not able to connect with VM with help of a private IP because we have not created a VPN between Azure and my laptop. So now we will connect with the public IP only. Okay. So all these 3 VMs are connected with one virtual network, that is domain DC virtual network. This is having this is the address space 10.0.0/16. This is CIDR notation. Okay. So if you see that these are 3 servers are mapped with the same network, and this is a 10.0.0.4, 0.5 and 0.6. Okay, and this is having only single subnet. So we can able to configure the always on with the multi subnets, but in this scenario we are going with a single subnet only. Okay, this is the DNS server configuration. Now it is provided with Azure provided default Azure provided DNS details. Okay, so we have to change it. Let's connect to these 3 VMs. Okay, domain DC. So I already connected with the help of this public IP, that is 1035. Okay, so I have already configured domain. I have made this VM as domain. Okay, so to make VM as a domain, it is very simple, but to avoid length of the video, I just already created. Okay, it is very simple. We have to go to the configuration server manager. So in the start menu, and there is server manager. Okay, so once we click this one, it will be appear like this. Go to the manage, click on add roles and features, and click next and next and click next. Okay, and click on DNS server, add feature, and continue, and active directory domains server, and click add feature, and click next. And this is next. Once this is done, there is small icon will be appear here. So to make this as a DNS server. So once that is done, so we have to give the name. So that's it. It is just simple next to next. So it is very simple to configure, make the server as domain. Okay, so it takes around 5 to 10 minutes to complete this one. So that is the reason I have already make it done. How do we know that it is already part of domain? So if you see this one, it is DNS is already appear. So just click on this DNS under server manager, and right click on the domain server and connect DNS manager. So in the domain manager, so you can see the domain name. Okay, so currently this is part of domain, this 10.0.0.4. Okay, and see one more thing. So tools, there is Active Directory, users and computers. So in this one, so we can see these computers. So currently none of the servers are mapped with this domain. Okay, we have 2 other nodes. Okay, 67 as node 1 and 235 as node 2. Okay, I have marked as this one. So domain is like this one, node 1 is this one, and node 2 is this one, and this is my domain username. Okay. So to connect these two nodes to this domain, first of all, these things should be communicate each other. So if I go to the command prompt, ipconfig /all, okay, this is the IP address, private IP. But when you see this domain server, it is default IP provided by Azure. So first of all, to make this node 1 to the domain, so that DNS IP should be like appear here. So how it is going to be like make it this one? Okay. So in the portal, sorry, I'm getting one call. Hello.
Hello. Hey, this is Shubham. I'm calling from Davos Link. How are you?
Yeah, hi Shubham. I'm doing good. Hope you are also doing good.
Yeah, I'm good. So I just got a resume from your side regarding.
So to make this DNS details, DNS server name appear here, to appear the exact DNS server or IP here, we have to go to the portal. In the portal, we have to go to the virtual network and click on virtual network VNet. Come back to the DNS settings. By default, it is a default Azure provided. Okay, we have to change it to the custom, and we need to like provide the DNS server IP. Okay, this is 10.0.0.4 and click save. So how do you know that it is 10.0.0.4 is the DNS server IP? So because this is the 10 this in this VM I have marked say like a DNS. Okay, so if you want, you can see that command prompt ipconfig /all. Okay, so it is a 10.0.0.04. Okay, and once this is done, so we have to refresh it. Virtual network, go to the DNS server. Yes, now it is marking as. Okay, let me like see this one. No, but still it is a DNS server name is as Azure provided IP. For that, we have to like reboot the DNS server. So let me like pause this recording, and I'll just reboot it and resume it back to avoid the lengthy video. Okay. Yeah, now all sorry, now the VM has been rebooted. Okay. So to reboot, just click on this one and restart it. Okay. So now this VM is restarted, and let's see whether it is communicating. So go to this node 1, go to the command prompt, ipconfig/all. Okay. Yeah. So you can notice that DNS server is marking as 10.0.0.4. Earlier it was showing us Azure provided IP. Okay. So now go to this computer. So now I'm going to map this work group server as a domain. Okay. So just properties, go to this domain, click on domain, and our domain name is domain.com. Okay. What domain name is domain.com. Anything we can mark it as domain.com, like abct.com or IBM, TCS, anything. So for our testing purpose, I have given domain, okay, domain.com. So just click on domain.com, click OK, and we have to give the like user ID of the domain. So that is domain user. Okay, let's give the password. Once this is done, we have to restart. I mean, it automatically go for the reboot. So once this is done, and parallelly, let's go to that another domain, another node, and go to this computer. Right click property and change settings. Change. So work group is there. This is a node 2. Okay, and main.com. Click OK. And, user. Okay. So in meanwhile, let's see this one. Yes, it is done. Click OK. Okay, restarting. Okay, after this one, restart. Yes. So let's go here. It is communicating, reattempting. Let's see. Some network glitch. $167. It is back. Back to this one. Yes, this is done. This is a node 2. Okay, you can notice this one, node 2. Node 1 is already restarted. So now here also I'm going for restart. Node 1 is back to online. Okay, now if you want to see whether it is domain mapped with the domain or not, you can go to this server properties, and we can see fully computer name node1.domain.com. Okay, earlier it was work group name. Okay, so this is node 1 is already like done. So come back to the node 2, connect. It is already restarted. It is up. Connect to the server. Click S. Yes. Go to the command prompt, and we can also see IP like IP config dash all. Yeah, you can see this is a DNS server details, and this is a DHCP server details, and this is my private IP. Okay, so from domain, how do like we can also address, like we just go to this tools and click on Active Directory users and computers. So, and after this one, click on domain and go to the computers. Click on this one. So node 1 and node 2 is part of this domain. Okay, it is already connected. So now it is like qualified for the creating the cluster. Okay, so now go to the so now I'm going to create a cluster failure cluster features on this node 1 and node 2. Okay, just go to this server manager, which will be available in the start and server manager. Okay, once click on tools, sorry, manage, add roles and features. So if you notice, there is no option called failure cluster manager. Okay, so once this is done, we can notice the failure cluster manager in this tools section. Okay, once we click on manage, add on roles features, it will be pop up this one. Click next, and click next, and again click next. This is the features. Okay, we have to select where is that failure clustering. Okay, add features, click next and install. Okay, similarly we have to go to the node 2, go to the server manager. So sorry, it is already up. Okay, anyhow, it is opened here. Go to manage, add roles and features. Next, next, next. Simply it is next to add the failure cluster feature. Okay, so nothing great in it. So click on next, add features, next, install. So let's go to the node one. I think it is about to complete. Just bear with me, another 2 minutes maximum. Yeah, it is completed. Okay, so node 1 is completed. I'm checking the node 2. Node 2 is also completed. Yeah, it is also completed. Okay, so now go to the node 1. Okay, this is node 1, and so we can notice tools. So failure cluster manager. Earlier we did not identify this one. Now it is visible because we have installed as a failure cluster feature. Okay, click on failure cluster manager. Okay, Windows cluster is very simple for easy creation. Okay, so it is just next. Okay, so in the real time we have to validate the configuration. So since it is a test environment, so I mean, without validating, I'm just going the create clustering. Okay, and click next, and we have to click on browse, and in the advanced section we have to add the nodes. Okay, just click on find. So we have to give the name, domain user. Okay, user as a like a domain. Okay, and the password. So where it is going and picking. So it is taking these nodes from the domain which is available in this location. Okay, you're getting right. So once it is selected, click on OK, and it is taken this location, and hit next and next and next. So in real time, don't run all test. Okay, just go to the run only test which I have selected, because we have to uncheck storage in the real time, because if you select the storage, it may be validate the storage area, and there might be chances of shutting down the entire Windows cluster. Okay, so that is, I mean, since it is a test environment, I'm just selecting the storage as well, and selecting next and select next. Okay, it is validating. Yes. So one more thing before it is going to validate, I just wanted to go to the domain and go to the DNS area server and right click like a DNS manager. Okay, so DNS is the area where it is going to, like, what is like DNS? DNS is nothing but domain naming server. So this is the area which is going to map name and IP. So if it is 1 or 2 IPs, we can able to remember, but whereas thousands of servers, we will not able to identify by using the IPs. We have to identify with the help of names only. It is going to map the name and IP and the domain names DNS server only. Okay, this is so this location. Okay, so go to the, yeah, it is completed. So click finish and give the cluster name. What is the cluster name? So Win Cluster 2019. I'm just giving Win Cluster 29 AZ. I can mark it as okay, AZ. So click next and add all eligible storage to the cluster. No. So if we have to uncheck this one. If you check this one, so the storages will be like converted as like a cluster disk. So it is it is not recommendable for not it is not mandatory for shared storage of, for the always on availability groups. Okay, it should not be, the disk should not be shared storage. It is a independent standalone drives. I mean to say. Okay, uncheck this one and click next one. We should not like check that box. Okay. Do we really need a Windows failure cluster for preparing always on availability group? I can say no, because from 2017, Microsoft has been introduced SQL Server 2017 uh, uh, for always on without cluster independent, because it is not a mandatory for creating a Windows failure cluster for AZ from 2017, because of Microsoft has introduced SQL Server on Linux, right? In Linux, there is no option called failure cluster and all. So if you want to achieve high availability on Docker, Kubernetes, and Linux, then if we just rely on a Windows failure cluster, then AZ groups are not possible, right? So this is the reason now we able to create AZ group even without Windows failure cluster. SQL Server wants to run on all the other operating systems as well. So that is the reason Windows Server failure cluster dependency is removed from 2017. Yeah, now it is completed. Just refresh. So it is, yeah, it is there. It is there. It is coming, loading. Yeah, node 1. Yes. So refresh it. So it is marked as down. Let's see why it is. Let's see. Got the cluster. Okay, it is running. It is expected, but not the. So in this case, two nodes are marking as down, but one one node should be down, one node should be up. Why one node will be expected as down? Because let me show you that why it is. Cluster events was access. So it should be like so let's close connection. Okay, right click closing connection. Okay, it is node 1, right? So go back to the node 2 tools. What is the failure cluster manager? And right click, connect to the cluster. So it is Win cluster 2019 AZ, right? Just click OK. Yes, it is taken. Right click, nodes. Why it is not? Yeah, nodes, not rows, nodes. So it is node 2 is up and node 1 is down. So why it is node 2 is up and node 1 is down? Because you know this during the cluster like a creation. So the IP has been 1 second. Let me show you this one. Where is that? Yes, this is the one. Yeah. Yeah, this one. So this IP, this is a node 1 IP. Okay, Windows Server failure cluster creates and it's showing as healthy. Okay, it is showing as healthy, but which is not true because it is taking a node 1 IP. Okay, in on-premises, when we are creating Windows Server failure cluster, we will get the name and IP from network team. In case of Azure VMs, it will never ask you IP. So we haven't given IP, right? So it just asks the name and the nodes. That's it. And click next. So, okay, so that is how we have done. So in our case, we have node 2 is up, node 1 is down. So it is taking one IP address of one of the node, that is node 1. Okay, think this Windows Server failure cluster is application. Node is a like one machine where it has its own IP. So with the cluster, it is a down in Azure environment, taking the IP of one of the node and giving it to the failure cluster. Now node is not eligible to make it as up. So if you like node 1, it is down, but uh, but but still the node 1 is up. Okay, node 1 is up, but it is marking as node 1 is down because in this IP it is marking this one. So go to this properties. Okay, we have to change because it is taking DHCP protocol. So because of this is a DHCP protocol, it is like it is by default it is taking one of the node IP. Okay, we have to go to the static IP and change that 10.0.0.0 and /10. So which is not reserved to any area. We should be free. Okay, click up there. And yes, IP. Okay, after this one, okay, reboot. Okay, once that is done, so taking, yeah, this operation is taking longer than the expectation. Just another. Usually it will complete in this just 15, 10, 20 seconds. Okay. Let me stop recording. Yeah. So now it is the IP has been changed, that 10.0.0.1, and it is back to online. Okay, click OK. Now this is not a 10.0.0. So once this is online, okay, even this node 1 and node 2, it is like back to online. So even the if you go to the node 1, so we can just connect to the cluster, and this is Win cluster 2019 AC. Just click OK. and attempt to connect to the Windows failure cluster, cluster group. Yes. So now, so it is the node are online. Okay. So by default in Azure VM, one of the node will be down because it is taking up for DHCP protocol and all. Simply, I can say that so it is with the help of DHCP protocol, it is picking one of the IP node IP to this Windows failure cluster. That is the reason it is the node 1 will be down. So we have to change the IP of the Windows failure cluster IP to the one which is not reserved to anyone. Okay, so once that is done, by default, this nodes will be back to the online. So now it is ready for the Windows always on availability group.